Temptation falls away when we allow each one we meet to save us and refuse to hide his light behind our grievances. To everyone you meet and to the ones you think of or remember from the past, allow the role of Savior to be given that you may share it with him. For you both and all the sightless ones as well, we pray. Let miracles replace all grievances. Amen.
Johanna, sounds like you have a cold. You have a cold?
Yeah, my nose is, I don't know, it's allergy, I think. No
Mm-hmm.
problem. It will clear.
Mm-hmm. Great. Well, in the tradition of saying hi, which I like to do on Zoom, hi, Johanna, hi, Ardith, hi, Sheila, hi, Kim, and hi, Vincent. Vincent, nice that you're here. And we're sending love out to Elaine and Josh and Alan, of course, and
And
Bob.
Bob. Yeah.
So, Kim, do you want to?
Yeah, so I have a few things on my agenda, but the first one is just trying to really nail down when people plan on taking some proactive content. And right before the meeting started, I was trying to find the list that I sent out. And I know that Josh and Elaine aren't with us, but I think they're okay with whatever we assign them to. And I think Elaine had actually given me some feedback on what worked for her. But I guess the plan would be to start on Monday, this coming Monday. I think we're in a good place right now where we can go ahead with that. I think Elaine started by posting something already, and Johanna, it was so kind of you to give her positive feedback about
Yeah.
that because I think that was really good. And I know it's probably hard for our new moderators to, gain confidence and feel good about what they're posting, but she did really great. And, I'm sure everyone will. I hope people aren't overthinking it because it's really, it's if it's on your heart, it belongs in the group. And I think everyone will do a lovely job. But let's see, I can drop in the chat what I have for a schedule. Just making sure that everyone's okay with that. And if you switched it or are having second thoughts, please let me know. Sheila, I've got you posting something on Monday. Does that still work?
For now, it does, yes. And
Okay.
Friday, I
And Friday. Okay.
and I for me, that's also moderating day, right? So it could
Well,
be both posting and moderating day. Is that
I think at this point, the main thing is to post something
okay?
proactive and to also engage with the comments because we don't want to just post something and then leave it behind. So that's the main thing. And I think what I really want the new moderators to do is to start with that. And
Okay.
then if there comes a time where you feel like, hey, I want to take on more, then we can go there. And maybe you're there already, Sheila. I don't know. I don't want to put that kind of pressure on all of the new mods because I think the message that I've been reinforcing with them is first let's observe and then let's start by posting something.
Okay.
And eventually we want to get you there if that's your choice, but I don't want that to be an expectation next week. Does that
Okay.
sound
Well, that's
good?
that's good to know. That's good to know. I do have a question. I don't know if this is the appropriate time to ask it or not.
Well, let's see. Go for it.
All righty. Well, one of the lines in course that always jumps out at me, I've always been fascinated by it, is the script is written. And I see so many people interpreting that in a way that I don't. And I'd love to know what the foundation's perspective is on that one little line used once in all of Course in Miracles.
Well, I'm curious what you think it means and what you're seeing that it means that's not correct.
Okay, let me get it up first, or I'll do that while I'm talking. I think a lot of people interpret it as everything that shows up on the movie screen of my life is predetermined, predestined, and fate. And when I look at the quote in context, let me get it up here. The FIP edition. Huh. It's not showing up as an FIP edition. Okay, it says this is on Reddit, so the script has already been written. The time of your awakening has been set, and we are perceiving a world of the past. And I think that's what it is that the script is written means that there's another script. There's the ego script, but there's another script behind the ego script, and that is the script that is based on love, forgiveness, and atonement and awakening. That's how I interpret it and see it. So I'd love to know if that aligns with FIP or not.
Johanna, you have your hand up.
Yeah, it's a question that comes up very often in the group, so much so that an article has been written about it and has been posted in the guides. And it's called, I have it in front of me right now.
Okay.
It's called What About the Script?
Yes.
And it is based on quotes from the Course and quotes from Canon Wapnick.
Yes.
And I can tell from the bottom it says "Peace to all," which means Alan wrote it, and it's totally Course based, and it's the position that the moderating team has taken over the years. But it's in line with what you were saying.
Okay, well, that's good. That was my concern, that as a moderator, I certainly don't want to. I actually wrote a document myself about it, and I certainly don't want to step on the principles of the foundation. And I certainly want to be aligned with the foundation. I don't want to be representing something. I don't want to be in disagreement with the foundation, I guess.
Of course not. No, of course
Yeah,
not.
personally, or as a moderator. Yeah.
Right.
If I may elaborate a bit more,
Mhm.
Yeah,
is that okay?
absolutely.
As the moderator team, what we've done in the past years is we've applied the guidelines, but that doesn't mean that if somebody has a view on the course that doesn't line up with our view, that we delete the post. You know, it's for discussion. And so what Alan has been great in doing is he would thank the person for posting and say, let's have a look at what the course says. And then he would just pull out a couple of quotes that would put the whole topic in a different perspective. And then a discussion would ensue without telling the other person, you know, you're wrong in what you're saying. And so it grounds the discussion in the course. So if you find a post in the feed where somebody says, well, everything is determined because the script is written, and
I see that all the time in groups.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't happen that often anymore in our group so much. That's because we have this article that he wrote specifically for it.
Because I know I was hanging out in a group and there was Sue Ann Ockerwell. I think she posted.
Yeah. And she was in our group and she is left.
She is totally, the script is written.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just going to happen. Yeah. It's going to happen, that kind of thing. So yeah, I kind of left that group.
Yeah. Shit, man. She was in our group for the longest time.
Yes.
And it triggered me. It triggered me tremendously, I have to say. Anyway, she left of her own volition.
I'll just pop in here too, Sheila. I think that would be a great discussion question in terms of giving people the opportunity to talk about what it means for them, not as a means for having basis for correcting them by any means, but I think it could be an opportunity, like Johanna said, to guide them to say, hey, this is what the course says. And I love using our personal questions that we have about the course as an example because if we're wondering, chances are, dozens of other people are having that same question. And the same goes for some of those life experiences that we were talking about earlier in our prior meeting. Like, let's talk about some of that stuff and, just really create a robust conversation, never making anyone wrong, but inviting discussion around it. So. Yeah, I hope
Well,
that helps answer your question. And I do want to say that the Clubhouse group is excellent if you're ever feeling like I don't know how to respond to this, or, I just don't have the knowledge, or whatever the case may be. I know that our more seasoned mods are just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to all of this stuff. So let's lean on them and give them an opportunity to showcase their knowledge and their experience if we can. Does that
perfect.
help? Yeah.
Last tip, check out the frequently asked questions in the guide. You'll find a lot of articles so that when you post, you might want to reference back to those articles because all members have access to those.
Yes, yes. Well, I'll
And
certainly, if my first post, I don't know if it will be about the script is written or not, but if it is, and even if it isn't, I'll certainly check out the guide on that and it'll be a good reference document for sure.
Yeah. So I guess, Sheila's the only new moderator, I guess. Oh, well, wait, Vincent is here as well. Vincent has said that he would take Tuesday. And I think with Josh joining us, we should have most of the week covered. Johanna, you're still willing to do Sunday and the daily lesson? Awesome. So,
Sunday daily lesson, and on Mondays I usually post them through the text in 1 year that you made
oh
the
yeah,
pictures for the memes for,
yeah.
but there not a lot of discussion goes with that. So it's just the
Okay.
posting. It's I don't know if you want to include it in the list, but
Yeah, I mean that's great, Johanna, if you're willing to
that's on
continue
Monday.
with
Yeah.
that. And I guess it depends on if you're still feeling called to do that, if you'd rather do something
Yeah.
else.
No, it's fine.
Okay,
Can I ask you a
yeah.
question? Can I ask you a question quickly?
Of course
Sorry,
it
I didn't put my other hand up,
is.
um, I just wondered if because I didn't read completely. I'm sorry, your message. I got the gist of it. I just wanted to know if, for instance, if I don't, the brains are Johanna and Alan, that's for sure. Bob and I kind of pull up a rear or have, but I did have, like I said, I had a bunch of questions earlier. I think it was last year. I started to try to ask a few questions with a little picture. And I'm just wondering if, since everybody's being assigned specific dates, if I should feel moved to drag one of those out, maybe update it a little bit and put it up. Is that okay? Or is it
Of
going to
course that's
interfere?
okay, Ardith.
Well,
Yeah,
I
you
don't want to
we
interfere with what somebody's doing.
no, no, no. You never need permission to post in the group. In fact, we welcome it. I would, if the inspiration strikes, that's probably the best time to do it. When you feel like, oh my gosh, this question is on my mind. I want to post it in the group. Feel free, like you can do that.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna before Sheila, I just want to finish on this one. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and I'm not excusing myself because I was really kind of over the years, I haven't done as much as I could have, but I have to honestly say that I'm so appreciative and enamored of the knowledge between Johanna and Alan that chances are, because she's in one time zone and he's in another one, by the time I got in there, forget it. I mean, they had it so covered. If I said anything else, it'd just kind of like be redundant. So anyway, but not an excuse, just a thanks to them. And now I'm sorry, Sheila, go ahead.
I'm getting a note that my internet connection is unstable. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. All the money we pay for our internet, we should get better service. However, I'm just thinking my first post, I should probably introduce myself.
Well, that will bring me to another thing. I do
Oh,
plan on
now I can't
doing.
hear Kim.
Oh, you can't. Can
Now I
everyone else
can't.
hear?
Now I
Okay.
can't.
Okay. I do plan on doing an introductory post of the new moderators on behalf of the Foundation for Inner Peace. However, the reason why I've been, not necessarily waiting this long, but I wanted the timing to be just right so that moderators didn't feel like put on the spot or Like I guess my concern would be I don't want you to feel like you have to jump in and take all the tasks on right away. I wanted to make it clear that this new phase that we're going to, first we were doing observation, next week you're actually going to be posting, so that's probably a really good time to introduce you. But I just wanted to make sure everyone was comfortable before I said, hey, here's all of our new moderators. And, just making sure everyone felt good with that before I move ahead. So I'm guessing Monday will probably do that. But
And
feel free to elaborate, like I usually just do a brief little introduction like I did in the clubhouse, but if you want to share more, please feel free to do so. I know everyone has different comfort levels in what they share online and what they hold back. So, yeah, that's at your discretion.
Perfect, thanks.
And Kim,
Yeah.
my gut feeling is that we should include everyone in that. These are the moderators. We have some new moderators here, and we have
Hmm.
our advisors here. So
Yeah.
here is everyone.
Yep. I'll
Johanna,
do I'll
Alan,
do a
Ardith,
list.
Bob. Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Good
Yep.
plan. Anyone else have any recommendations or suggestions on that post? Johanna.
Perhaps also mention that Ardith and Bob, who are now advisors, have been moderators, and thank them for their service for those many years in that
Perfect.
post.
Yeah, yeah. Write that down so I don't forget.
It was our mini obituary. I mean, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's a joke. A
Ah.
bad joke. A bad joke.
Ardith, you are too much.
Everybody knows that I have these sick jokes, so that by now they kind of just
That's funny. Okay. Yeah. So I think we're good on the cadence of when to post, and it might be a little bit of a work in progress as we get our wheels spinning, but I think we have a good foundation for starting. I know a couple of the moderators, the newer ones, have reached out to me to say, like, what do you think about this? And if you want me to do that, I will, but I also want you to feel empowered to post what's on your heart and what you feel compelled to post. It's not like I need to review everything. So if you want me to do it, I'd certainly be happy to, but it's not a requirement. Just wanted to say that in case anyone watches the recording back and had questions about that. The other thing I had on my list is the survey. I wanted to share some of the comments, and I can post the entire thing in the clubhouse if you want to like really drill down and see what people wrote. Here, I thought I had it pulled up and I don't, but I will share the complete survey within the clubhouse so you can look at all of it. But I think it is going to provide us with some information to use with our post. We can actually see what people are looking for, what they're saying, um, and use it kind of as a basis for what people are wanting. Is it all right if I share screen, Laura?
Of course. Well,
Okay.
it's
Eh,
not my room.
Oh, okay. Well, I am anyway. So, we only had 32 responses. So keep that in mind. We had a couple under 30, nobody in the 30 to 39 age group. And, the vast majority of our group is over 60, which I think is probably no surprise. But so bear that in mind. The vast majority of respondents have probably been in the group a while, so eventually what we want to see happen is some of those younger demographics to fill in and for us to provide content that we think that they will enjoy. And that's part of the reason why I'm really excited that Josh is with us because he's a new course student. I think he's what, 22 or 23. He's very young. And so I think he'll have a better handle on what speaks to that younger generation. Um, so the question, how did you first discover A Course in Miracles? A lot of people say, it's through a book, a friend. I won't go into detail with this because I'll drop it in the clubhouse so you guys can look at it. But this was the part that I really thought was interesting and what could help guide our conversation is the vast majority of people want from the group, they want practical application in their daily lives. And that's something that I have seen at, looking at the join questions that people answer when they join the group. And that is definitely something that we can take the opportunity to provide more conversation around that. Second was spiritual encouragement and connection. And then, deep study and discussion was there. I think we do a really good job of that already. So I feel like the opportunities right here are probably the practical application, and the beginner guidance. Because I'm not, I don't know. I think we're always there to jump in and help when beginners ask, but, maybe there could be some things specifically tailored towards them. And then again, what types of posts would you like to see more of? Again, practical applications comes out in front, personal stories and reflections. And I think they actually go hand in hand because when people
There you go.
tell personal stories, that's actually them applying the course in their daily life, whether they realize it or not. So we can lean into that a little bit. Um, Historical context, resources. I see that in the regular social channels all the time. People love when we post about the history of how ACIM came into being or anything about the founders or, this day in history, that type of thing. And so I guess the suggestion could be when you see that on our main Facebook page, we could share that into the group and create a conversation around it. And then we also had people that were kind of like filling in here. These weren't prompts for them to answer, but people filled in their own. And I won't go into detail with that on our Zoom call, but again, you can read it when I drop it in the group. Um, what do you think would help A Course in Miracles feel more accessible to new or younger students? Peer support. So, I'd be interested in drilling down a little bit more and asking them what that really means. I think we provide that within the group, but that could be a follow-up question. We could do a question or a poll within the group to ask a little bit more about that. And again, real life application. So you guys are seeing a trend. I know it's only 32 people, but this really is aligned with what I see people saying in the join questions and what I feel our opportunity is as moderators to provide for our group members. And then again, what turns you off in a Facebook group? Promotional posts, posts that feel more like self-promotion than genuine sharing. And I know that we have rules against or guidelines against that, and I know we remove posts that are overtly spammy, but I'm wondering too if people are feeling the posts that, I guess we would call like the drop and ditch or, like that type of post where people post something within the guidelines, but it feels like they're doing it just to be self-promoting, whether it's expecting people to follow their profile link to a different page or whatnot, but people really don't like that. And maybe people are saying, we're not saying specifically what turns you off about our group. So maybe people are just saying that comment in general. Other things that turn people off, surface level posts, links or images without any personal commentary, lack of interaction. Um, and then again, a lot of people are just filling in their own answers here. Blathering, that one kind of cracked me up. Bickering, essays. Anyway, I wanted to call this out too. Gosh, where was it? There was one, any other thoughts or suggestions? It was concern for Alan and Johanna because it said something like, they're doing so much and I don't want them to get burned out. I'm paraphrasing here. No, I can't find it. But people recognize how much you do, Johanna, and Alan too, if you watch the replay. Like, people are concerned about you and they don't want you to get burned out. So I think it's really good that we're bringing on a few more people to balance things out, to carry the load along with us, and just to fill in the gaps because I mean we can't all be everywhere all the time and all things to all people. So that is a good reason to bring in new faces, new ideas, different points of life stages, etc. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share within the Zoom call, but we'll post the details later. And if people want to drill down, I think it's really interesting. I think from time to time we could repost the link and hopefully get some more interaction on that. Or, if you have people that you want to make sure that they've seen it, feel free to share it directly with them. The more feedback, the better. It's also a really, if people ever say, I don't like the direction the group is going, or if people have concerns about the group, this is giving them a platform to express their wishes as well. We really do
Yeah.
want to accommodate the group, and it's not our group, it's their group. So,
Mm.
did anyone have questions or feedback, ideas? Johanna?
Yeah, two little things. Will you share the results with Let's Discuss as a whole?
I want to be really mindful of privacy. So I think the
Without
only
names?
I think there might be some pie charts I could. I think it's important that we just do it from a very top level. This is what we found out, and make
Yeah.
sure that any specific comments are not included.
Oh,
But
okay.
I
Yeah.
actually wasn't planning on doing that, Johanna. But
Well, the reason I'm asking is because that's the second point, is that
mhm.
Elaine brought up a topic today in the clubhouse about I forgot the name, something survey. I can't remember. A form that people could use when they're not happy with what the group is doing,
Mhm.
and that makes them feel heard if they can fill out a form. And so, and I asked her, can you explain? Can you tell more? And she did, and she was going to share a sample next week because I'd
Okay.
never heard of it. It's in
Yeah.
the clubhouse. It's all in the clubhouse.
Okay.
And what you were just sharing made me think of her post.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen that post in the clubhouse, and so I'm not really sure what
But it
format
just
that
happened.
is.
It just happened.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Is it
we can take
from,
a look at
is
it.
it the one, I'm sorry to interrupt, is it the one from Tuesday?
No, she just posted it today,
Oh, today?
Elaine.
Okay.
Maybe I can find it.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then yeah, let me find the name. The computer is a bit slow because I have so many windows open. Okay, here.
Yeah, I
Oh,
see
maybe
it.
it was longer ago. I made it. No, and I can't find it now. I don't know. Maybe it was in a comment somewhere. I don't see it now.
I'm not sure, Johanna, if I'm making the right connections or not, but I think she was talking about if somebody gets an automated generated comment that their post has not been posted, that we could follow up with another opportunity, another link that said, if you'd like to discuss this, reach out to us. Is that what it was?
It was no, yeah, you're right, and it was in response to my post about Jamuna Light of the World that I posted 5 hours ago, and in the comments she mentioned it, and
Yes,
yeah, and you responded as well, and she calls it an appeal survey option,
yes,
appeal
that's it.
survey option, and so for those who want to read what she want to read what she wrote, in it's like I posted 5 hours ago about Jamuna, and it's in the comments.
Okay.
And there are no hurries, just so you know. If you want to read it, that's where you can find it.
Okay. Okay. I
Yeah,
I my pulse in my reading is that so far so good. I know that there are obviously people that are affected by the no duplicate content guideline, but uh, in fact, when we announced it in the group, a lot of people were in support of it and kind of
Yep, true.
excited that we're not going to be using or allowing that anymore. So I feel really positive about it. I hope everyone else is as well. Okay, great. And again, if anyone, I guess if people want to appeal or have, escalate their complaint, I think the best thing would to have them do is to contact me directly. And that was kind of in the three-tiered plan that we had set out. I haven't looked at what Elaine shared yet, and I don't want to discount that. But right now, I think we're directing all those people to me, and I will send a very friendly, kind email to them. And I will answer whatever questions they might have. Ardith, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I was just this reminded me. I did see that post. I read it so fast, so I didn't really absorb it. But I my that brings up a feeling to me that I really feel that now there's with newer people coming in to do moderating and that staying to the positive, I think, as much as possible. Because a lot of times, unfortunately, both Johanna and Alan, and sometimes me even, we found ourselves of a week just constantly answering negatives and bringing that up and all of that. So I think what you're setting out now is a good platform, and if we give it a chance to breathe, I think that it'll all work fine. That's my feeling about it. We'll obviously we'll see, but I get a good feeling about it. And also one last thing, I am all for bringing in younger people. I don't know, however we can do it. I really think that's great. Absolutely, that's the future. So we got to, well, you know what I mean. So anyway,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Ardith. And I want to reiterate that, yeah, I think that young people are great, but it's the mix of people that
Thanks. Yeah.
makes us what we are. And everyone brings a different life situation or viewpoint to the table. And we're all going to have our strengths and skills, and we'll have so many more tools in our tool shed, so to speak. Like I know that Alan and Johanna are scholars, and they're there if we need to have questions answered. But then we'll have Elaine and Sheila seem so adept at technical things, and Josh is our young 20 something. So everyone will bring a strength, and
Yeah,
that's
well,
what I'm excited about.
yeah, I agree with you completely.
Mhm.
Everything you just said. I guess I was more thinking of bringing in more young people to the not the admins or the mods necessarily.
Yeah,
And I think probably what you're doing and starting to bring about will help ha have that happen. I'm hoping anyway, because
yeah,
I get
absolutely,
interested.
artist.
I get interested by their viewpoints too, because as long as we have been involved with the course, I first got it in 1980 or something like that. It's changed the way the world has changed, people have changed. So getting that kind of a feedback based on your new plans, I think is going to be really good. That's all.
Thanks, Ardith. And to your point, I think that we need to model what we're looking for in terms of diversity of our group before we can expect it to like manifest in the group itself. So with this wider range of post styles, post content, etc., I think we'll attract different people, or at least we'll get them to stick around because we do attract people to our group. It's, are they sticking around? Are they actually seeing our posts? So that's what I think a lot of this will help with. That helps. That was really all I had, Laura.
Hmm.
I wanted to go over the survey. I wanted to go over our posting schedule. Does anything else rise to the surface in terms of what we need to discuss today?
Yeah, and I just wanted to say that it's a we, not a you, for any of us, that we're in this together, and that even though uh, Kim is orchestrating the new guidelines along with me and like managing the new volunteers, we're all in this together. This isn't us and them, including the advisors. It's just, you know, um, we know what this course is all about. We know that this course is all about love. So
Laura, thank
there's
you.
a better place to practice it than here. Because as I always say, if we can't do it here, then we are, you know what the bad word is.
Blanked. Don't use it. Don't use it. No,
I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to use it, but you know what it is.
no. Well, can I just say thank you, Laura, for saying that, but I think we have that feeling. I mean, I do, that it's all, like for instance, when I got put to the advisor place, I was happy because I'm still involved to be able to do things and have my input, but I don't have to make people who are trying to do so much and then they look at me and say, well, why aren't you doing? They didn't say that, but I mean, I would think that, and in this way, there's a balance and we're all finding a good place. And I'm okay with it. I really am. I think, and I see us all connected and united. So I don't see a problem actually at all. Thank you for the heart.
Mhm.
That's all.
Well, I want to thank you for inviting me into this beautiful space, this beautiful community of people. And, I've been committed to the Blue Book from day one, 30 years ago. And I believe that our mission is important. And if I can contribute to that mission in any way, I feel kind of privileged actually. So thank you.
Thank you, Sheila. Yeah. We're glad you're with us. And Vincent, too, if you're still on the call, everyone is so valued. And just to echo what Laura said, like it is a team effort here. And, even though maybe the guidelines came from the foundation, the execution of them is all up to the team, and we value everyone's input. I hope you don't think I'm being too bossy or anything like that. That's not my intention. I want to get everyone's, I want to empower you to do what you feel is best, what's on your heart, and lean into the expertise of the moderators that have been around the block because they know the group. So we appreciate.
Including the advisors.
Yes, yes. That goes without saying. I hope artists didn't think I was excluding her
No,
when I said that. Okay.
no, not at
Yeah.
all. No. And the fact
Mhm.
is that, like, I just make one last statement, and I've said this 1,000 times. I've always kind of felt like the little sheep in the place because the volunteer who's no longer a volunteer with us, but who's still my friend, she took 2 months to drag me when Emmanuel first established this thing. And it was just, we didn't even know what we were doing, but she was such a wonderful person to bring in to start it up. And I feel privileged to have done that. And from then, I don't feel at all I feel wonderful that we've had such wonderful, educated, smart, and kind people between, especially Johanna and Alan. And I don't feel at all pushed to the side. I think advisor is kind of a wishy thing. So we'll see what it means along the way. I'm going to try to go with the flow. So anyway, thank you though for your
Thanks,
words,
Ardith.
everybody.
Thank you. And a shout out and thanks to Audrey for all the love and commitment that she put into this group from the beginning. One thing that has come up, and I don't have an answer for it, but I do know that there's been such a strident commitment to this group meeting now on Thursdays at 11. And I don't have like the four moderators were so passionate about everything in the group, and it was really a collaboration for them to meet on Thursdays at 11 o'clock Pacific time, and it worked and it was helpful and all of that. And there's sort of like a loosening happening, is that like it's not mandatory, but I think it might still be helpful. I can't make that decision for people. I won't be able to make it every week at this time, but I also know that Johanna has been so incredible about opening the room every year for all these years. And the moderators have always let me know if they were going to not. Alan always let me know if they couldn't make the meeting so that because every once in a while I would drop in to share my love and gratitude and listen if something was going on. But we don't necessarily have to decide that now, but I'd be curious what people think moving forward. This time works, if they want to continue the meetings, if they want to have them every other week, if they want to have them, once a month. I don't know. I just know that I won't be able to come every week.
Yeah. Same, Laura. My time commitments are maybe not quite as demanding as yours, but they're demanding nonetheless. And I think for me, I could commit to once a month, but definitely not every week. But again, I think it's kind of up to the moderators and
Yeah,
maybe
I do
they don't
too.
even
I
know
don't think
yet.
it has anything
So
to do with us.
for sure.
If,
As a newbie, I think there's tremendous value in for me and probably for Elaine and Vincent and Josh as well, to be able to call on the wisdom of Johanna and Ellen and Ardith. So for now,
Mhm.
I would like to meet every week, but I am one voice and I will pass the baton on.
Well, we appreciate your voice, Sheila. It definitely
yes,
matters. Yeah.
Thanks.
I agree with you there, and only because of our experience over the years. Like a lot of times we couldn't, maybe two of us would show up, but we ended up getting into a discussion. We got to know one another. We would talk about issues that maybe weren't problems, but now of course there'll be all times when maybe all nobody can show up, and that's the advantage of being and making the announcement in the clubhouse. So we make the agreement, no, we can't do it this week. But I think the availability of it, as long as there's somebody who can open it, because I don't do anything. I'm such a bad person. I stopped figuring out how to do that stuff. So as long as there's somebody to open the room, even if they're just two in there, and you, if you came, and Elaine, say, for instance, the two of you just there, it, I think there's value in it, especially since you're new. That's my feeling.
Mm,
Having it available is all I'm saying.
yeah. Yeah, I have to say, if I can add to that, over the past few years, the mod meeting has really been the core of our collaboration. And the clubhouse flowed from the mod meeting. And so the decisions that we individually would take during the week, sometimes, I would be up when you guys were asleep and vice versa. And so we had to take decisions by ourselves. We're carried is the word, I think, but by the group process. So it wasn't like I felt like I was on a limb somewhere. I felt like I was embedded in our common understanding of where we wanted to go with the group. And the mod meeting has been instrumental to craft such a base. And I would be sad to see it go. And so I will commit to opening the room, even if I can't be present for some reason. Usually I can, because it's for me, it's 8 o'clock at night. And so that's fine. Um, and so I can still open it even if I can't be there. So you can just count on that if there's a desire to continue, that the technical part of it isn't a problem. Plus, you could always meet through another medium. I mean, it doesn't have to be the volunteer Zoom room, right? It's convenient to have it in the FIP volunteer Zoom room, but it could be in any online place. But anyway, um, and the other thing is that, and perhaps it's good to mention that now, we have worked on the basis of consensus. We would talk everything through, and hardly ever did any of us disagree after we talk stuff through when there was a decision to be made. Occasionally, one of the four of us would feel like, well, I don't really am on board, but I'll just be a team player, and so we could always forge ahead based on consensus, basically. And of course, with the new mods coming in that need direction, that system has a bit changed. And at first, to me, it felt like it was perpendicular. I've mentioned that it was perpendicular, that we have always operated on the basis of consensus, and now there's guidelines and there's directives coming in. And so I felt like what I had trained myself to perform, the way I had trained myself to perform as a moderator, was just didn't make sense within a new model of top down. And so I was very hesitant in bringing that in. And I didn't see it that was the problem. I wasn't aware. I was aware of a disconnect, and I wasn't sure what it was. Until that light bulb went on, and I thought, okay, that's what it is. it's the feeling that I had, that what I had to bring into the mod meeting and the clubhouse was perpendicular to the new style. And that feeling has now dissipated somewhat. I can still see that that's the case, but it doesn't bother me so much anymore because it was totally numbing. I felt like I had no energy in my hands. I couldn't do a thing. And and partly because of conversations with Laura and a conversation I had with Tam, and they're both saying that, you know, love is at the center of everything. Laura has kept on saying that, and Tam said that. And that was really what helped me make the shift in my mind. Whatever, you know, the psychological explanation or the sociological explanation might be, you know, different styles. Love trumps everything. And so that was that was good for me to get that message. And it doesn't bother me so much anymore. I felt really torn, really, really torn, and I don't anymore.
Thanks for sharing that, Johanna. That's kind of a vulnerable thing to say. So, I mean, I appreciate you bringing that out into the open, and I that gave me a little bit more clarity and maybe, you know, what your what you were feeling in terms of the changes. So that helps me understand things a little bit better from your perspective. But I want to also reiterate that the guidelines are being basically handed to us from TAM, but still, I consider this a collaboration. The day-to-day stuff, it's still consensus based. You guys can talk about that within the clubhouse. I mean, as long as it goes with the guidelines, I think that those day-to-day decisions are still in the hands of the moderators, and you should feel empowered to make those decisions as well as to decide what content to put out there. I don't, you know, I don't, I can speak for myself. I don't have the bandwidth to be a boss or a top-down manager or anything like that. I want to be a collaborator and a partner and a guide is kind of how I see myself. If I can help guide things in terms of, you know, what I'm seeing in terms of trends in social media, et cetera. That's what I bring to the table. I don't bring the vast knowledge that Johanna and Alan and Ardith might have, or Sheila or Laura even. Like, it's like I don't have that. So I'm relying on you for that as well as I would hope you would rely on me for my guidance. If that helps you
Mhm.
kind of reposition your thinking a little bit.
Yes, it does. It does.
Okay.
I suppose that the initial change from may to will, I don't know if you remember that change.
Oh, yeah.
That threw a spanner in the works. But now that we've passed that, and now that you've posted that tier post, I don't want to go back there. I want to look forward, like you suggested
Good.
and like Laura suggested. I'm not going to go back. That's
Well,
in the
and I
past,
think
and the past is gone.
there's so much excitement in the potential.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
hope you're feeling that. I think Ardith has
I do.
expressed that. It's like that's what I want us to like get excited about is maybe not where we've been, but where we could go. And all the new people that we could potentially reach, people that have never like experienced the course before, that's what we have in our hands. We're kind of holding that and guiding that ship. So I think that's very exciting.
Mm.
Ardith, before you share, I just want to say something really quickly. I mean, Judy Scutch-Whitson used to say to me all the time, the only way to practice this is through our relationships. And I know that you guys have deep relationships with the people that have been in this group. And I know I'm a relationship person. I love people. I am an extrovert. I love people. So I can imagine how it would feel like a slap in the face if somebody that you love is being rejected because of their, you know, like that could feel like this is obscene. And again, that is, we spent 3 hours on the boat with Tam for her talking about changes here. It's time to change the group up, blah, 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 blah. So it's not necessarily coming from us, but I also understand how attached we can get to people. So thank you. Ardith?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I heard what you said. You talk, it kind of fades away when you start talking, but I move in and I think I got it all. Yeah. Well, one thing I think is I agree with everything that, and I understand completely everything that Johanna said. I really do. Um, I mean, I think all of us had that kind of feeling at the beginning because there was such uncertainty. I mean, at the beginning, we would ask a question, say, "Well, we have to meet again, and we have to do." So it was like everybody was kind of like hanging and not exactly sure how much should be done or how little should be done or what way it should be done. So I understand why, especially someone who, like Johanna, who's been so devoted and really done the hard work, how she might have felt that. And but even having said that, I think she would agree too. I hope I'm not speaking for you, but you can tell me if I'm not. That that no, really, the guidelines. If you had come back, if you had come back with a set of guidelines that were like 100% different, we probably all of us would have bailed or had heart attacks. I don't know. But because the guidelines are not all that changed, I mean, there's some that are they've simplified a little bit, which in sense is a helpful because some of them got kind of long. But I think that was a help so that we could kind of jump over the ones that kind of gave us a little in the beginning and give it a shot and give it a chance. So I don't want to speak for anybody else, but I just felt I understand. I get the feeling, and I had a little bit of it too. Even though I was the little one, well, Bob's the littlest one on the totem pole. Darn him anyway. But he had an excuse because he could talk about having trouble with being able to communicate with this internet. I mean, his was just almost impossible. But anyway, that's all I really wanted to say. I understand the feeling that we all have, but I don't have it anymore either. I'm really gung ho, give it a shot, and at absolutely love is definitely the bottom line, I think, for all of us. So thank you.
Thank you, Ardith. Thank you, Johanna, for your honesty and your, like Kim said, vulnerability. I appreciate it a lot. That bring anything up for you, Sheila or Vincent? Anything you want to add?
Well, I would just say that I felt it as a newbie in the group. I felt that there were things going on that I didn't know about. And I know Kim reached out to me and said, "How's it going? How are you feeling?" And I said, "Well, I was a little uncertain for a while, but I felt a shift happen." And I think this is what you're talking about, is that there was a shift. I'm sensitive, I'm empathic, I felt it, and then I felt it clear. So I always appreciate finding out that my feelings were not, I know we make everything up in our heads, right? But it's always nice because as a child, those kinds of feelings were not always validated. So I'm always a little grateful when I hear, "Oh yeah, there were some things going on there." And yeah, you're not totally crazy, Sheila. You may be insane. As Course in Miracles reminds me, I'm a little insane, but I'm not all that crazy. So I really, really, really appreciate that you've stayed with us and that you've shared with so much grace. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, Laura, I can't hear you.
Oh, I said
There we go.
thank you, Johanna, and thank you, Sheila.
Yeah, I think we might have had a little miracle happen here right now.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little.
I love that. Yeah. Thank you.
Doesn't the Course
It-
say everything that comes from love is miracle? So
Or there is no small miracle, isn't there something like that too? Like,
Yeah, they're all maximal. They're all maximal.
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I sure felt it because I was in knots the last 2, 3 days, and it's come undone. So that's the miracle.
Well, I'm glad you're still here with us, Johanna. You wrote it out with us. Mm.
and I'm glad you recorded this too for because I don't even know Vincent's there, and then this way Alan will be able to check it out too and everything. So thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
Bob, I don't know where Bob is, but Johanna,
Yeah,
any
he
idea?
hasn't. No, he usually asks me for the link beforehand, and then last week he said, "Oh, it's the same link every week," and here I was pestering you every week, and it just made me laugh. And I said, "It's okay, I can send you the link." "No, you don't have to anymore." And so the next time he's not here.
Okay,
Oh well.
awfully kind of you.
Well, it's with just one click, that's not a big deal.
Mhm.
But if he says, you don't have to send it because I have it now, I didn't send it to him. Oh, well.
Well, look at us. We came in at 1:59. Is there like a normal way to close the meeting? Do we have like a closing prayer or anything like that? Or we just say, see ya?
See ya. See ya.
That's
Thank you
totally
all.
okay. Yeah.
Thank
I don't
you.
have anything else. We're good?
We're good.
You're good.
All
Well,
right.
then we'll
Take
see
care,
you next
everyone.
Thank
week.
you all.
Thank you so
Bye.
much,
Bye.
everyone. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.